Guys, it doesn't really matter if you're a high-level professional fighter, an amateur fighter, or somebody who just likes to train for fun, gets into the gym and does lots of sparring sessions. In either case, I'm sure we've all been up against somebody who's showboating, somebody who likes to move around, stick their tongue at you when you miss. And there's nothing wrong with those tactics because they get inside people's heads. But today we are talking about tips for fighting arrogant, showboaty fighters. And because I faced Lerdsila, and because I had a guy who I knew was going to taunt me, try and climb on top of me, pull all sorts of tricks, I've had experience with this, I've had experience prepping, and today I'm going to share some tips with you guys to make sure this fighting style does not bug you or hinder you anymore. Alright guys, I really feel like this is an area of expertise for me. It takes a lot to rattle me. It takes a lot to throw me off my game. And somebody being in the ring across from me, I've had it done with Lerdsila, sticking his tongue at me, or trying to taunt me, or trying to climb me, or any game they want to play, it's not going to affect me. I'm there to do my job. So I want to make sure I share this with you guys and just sort of go through the mindset of how you don't let this kind of thing affect you. Because don't be fooled. If you let this affect you, it plays into their game plan and takes away from yours. And that leads us to my first tip, which is just don't get upset. I know it's very difficult not to get upset, but as soon as you get upset, you start fighting emotionally. And when you fight emotionally, you aren't thinking about the game plan. You aren't thinking about the tactics. And this could play out in so many ways. It could be you tag them and they do something like, nah, it didn't hurt me. It could be you throw a punch or a kick and you miss and fall down. And then they come in and start taunting you. It could be they knock you down and they're over top taunting you. There's so many ways this could play out. And you don't really need to go into that in your head. I've never done that before, being like, oh, what if he does this or this or this or this? That's too much. It's just setting yourself up going, okay, you know what? I don't want to be mad in the fight and I'm just going to go and do my job and not let anything he does, anything he says, doesn't matter if it's pre-fight, during the fight, doesn't matter. Whatever he says is inconsequential. Whatever he does in the ring is inconsequential except for the punches that are hitting you. Aside from that, it doesn't bug me. It's never bugged me. And if you research your opponent as I do, I know which guys are going to come in and just fight. And that's it. And I know which guys, the other ones, who are going to come in and fight and try and razz me. Make sure you understand which opponent might bring that razzing game. And if they are, make sure you expect it. If you're an amateur fighter and you don't know who you're facing really, just go in and have that mindset like, yeah, maybe he's going to come out and he's going to try and razz me to get some sort of reaction that I really don't want to give him. If you expect it, doesn't matter if it's in sparring or in an actual fight, if you're expecting it to a certain extent, you don't let it bug you. And I've always liked sort of a poker face, Terminator determination. It does not matter what this guy brings, because a lot of times when they drop their hands and they start doing stuff like that, they're not wanting to bang, they're not wanting to engage, they're wanting to create space. And guys like McGregor, Sean O'Malley, they're very good at razzing their opponents, and a lot of times it creates more distance, which works for them. Or people get overly aggressive, which again works to their game plan. But if you maintain, as we already talked about, your game plan in your head, you don't let it slow you up on your mission to win the fight, and you're just like Terminator, you just keep coming. Smart, but you just keep coming and coming. Eventually, I think you're gonna break their will because they're trying to break yours with the razzing. They're trying to get in your head. But if you don't play to that, if you ignore it completely and just keep trucking forward like I did against Lerdsila, I think he's expecting a reaction, he doesn't get it, and it's gonna throw them off. So you can almost make it a mental battle. Will I break? Will I get upset? Can he get that reaction out of me? Or am I just gonna stay poker-faced, Terminator style, keep trucking forward and sort of throw him off? When the guy starts, you know, he's doing this, he's like, oh shoot, this guy's not falling for my tactics. He's not responding to anything. And most people don't do that. Most people, when I, for example, researched Lerdsila, he always got reactions out of his opponents. If he razzed them, then they try to razz him back. I don't understand the point of that. When Lerdsila razzed me, I hit him. That's the best response to this overall. Hands stay up, zero reaction. That's basically my go-to thing here. If I could sum up this whole episode, hands stay up, zero reaction, poker face, he does something, I do nothing. I'm going to do nothing. And I'm going to give him one split second just to make sure that when he's razzing me, he's probably ready for me to come in and charge out of anger and him to fade and counter. So I just give him a second. Just whatever. Don't care. No reaction. Not going to smile. Not going to do anything. And then I go back to work. Back to work. I would love to see somebody do this against Conor McGregor, Sean O'Malley, Israel Adesanya. Back in the K1 Max days, there was actually somebody who inspired me to be like this, who actually showed me how to be like this, and that was Albert Kraus. He was the first K1 Max champion, and you never saw him do anything except for hands up and just moving forward. He's moving forward, he's throwing his punches, he gets hit, zero reaction. Whereas other guys sometimes get hit and they're like, hey, yeah, okay, you got me, but I don't care. You just got nothing from him. And I always went, ooh, that's a scary guy. You don't know what he's thinking. You don't know if he's hurt. You don't know if he's mad. You don't know if he's upset. You know nothing. All you know is he's coming and he's trying to get the win. To me, that's the scariest guy. If you can add that into your mindset, the people who are trying to razz you, they're trying to bring an extra element. But that can't hurt you if you don't let it. It's all about you fighting your game and ignoring anything aside from strikes which are trying to hurt you. So guys, this is not an overly complicated episode, so we're going to leave it there. Basically, when somebody starts razzing you in the gym, in the ring, give them nothing, don't respond to it, move around for a moment, take your time, and then hit them, and who cares? The razzing doesn't score points. You being iron-willed up here and not letting anything bug you and getting those points, getting that knockdown occasionally, that's what's going to win the fight. That's what's going to get you further and further up those rankings and make you a world champion. Guys, if you enjoyed this short episode, give it a like. If you have not already, guys, join the channel, get subscribed, train hard. I'll see you back here soon for another video.